The first public appearance of Jennifer Walters in her Hulk form, the public has unanimously identified her with the name SheHulk.
Has it felt like since Avengers Endgame that the MCU franchise has just stopped caring about what is being created? I mean, the only reason there was hype about the Spider-Man No Way Home film was because they rode the nostalgia train. And it looks like the only thing left up their sleeve is Venom vs. Spider-Man, which I think we all know that's not happening for a while.
Yeah, maybe I should go to New York and speak to this, Spider-Man.
Fans can actually agree with this as well. With post-Endgame shows, Loki and Moon Knight seem like they're the only ones that fans look forward to watching. I mean, why do you think they announced a season 2 of this series?
How do you plead?
Madam, a god doesn't plead.
What? Wagwan! I did it! You got planted! Layla! Did you see that?
Today we will be talking about just why this franchise has been falling apart and what is happening. But before we get into it, some Marvel trivia for you. What year was Marvel Comics created? Leave your answer in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct. Credit to movie overlord, who said it best, quantity over quality, and I believe this. Ever since Endgame, they had come out with tons of series and new films and whatnot, being so popular that they come out and announce the phases, the films all coming out just within the next 2, maybe 3 years.
Panther's the end of Phase 4. What in the heck is Phase 5? End of Phase 5, July 26, 2024, with this.
Thor Love and Thunder and the Eternals have become the worst performing films with the worst ratings. According to Rotten Tomatoes score, with Thor receiving a 64% and Eternals receiving 47%. No matter how you feel about the way Steve Rogers and Tony Stark ended their run in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least they each had an objective ending. Directed and co-written by Taika Waititi, Thor Love and Thunder had sky-high expectations set for it by Waititi's excellent Thor Ragnarok. Maybe Love and Thunder never stood a chance in that regard. But the fact remains that the film feels so weightless, distracted, and woefully unimportant because Marvel Studios is no longer the seller of must-see event releases. It has instead transformed into a branding house for Saturday morning cartoons that never end. What's most maddening about the newest Thor aren't its many flaws and misguided execution, but a failure to follow through on its implied functions. Many of us safely assumed this was the curtain call for Chris Hemsworth from the Marvel franchise, yet the only thing it does effectively is to make it abundantly clear that Marvel Studios doesn't seem to know what it wants from Thor in the next phase. The cost of this inaction falls on the audience, who are deprived of a meaningful and fulfilling story that these kinds of movies are meant to offer in the first place.
I take off your disguise and flick. Oh.
You flicked too hard, damn it!
Should we help him? And eventually, grape.
While the message of Thor Love and Thunder is that love requires sacrifice and happy endings aren't always what you expect, there is still the nagging feeling the film's ending doesn't come as the result of a confident, creative vision, but instead happens because Hemsworth and Portman's agents are negotiating new deals. Marvel is presumably producing another Thor sequel and more Avengers movies, and Thor, any Thor, has to be a part of the puzzle.
Where are your boots?
I'm wearing them.
You're not wearing those.
Go to hell, Steven!
Some of the most iconic scenes in MCU are actually pretty ugly if you think about it. Picture the airport fight scene in Captain America Civil War, which is set completely against a gray backdrop with flat lighting.
They're not stopping.
Neither are we.
or the final battle in Avengers Endgame awash in the shadow and the artificial glow of various superpowers.
Yes, and then he started doing the yellow sparkly thing that he does all the time. What are you doing?
The conflicts might be memorable, but the visuals are not. The opposite goes for Eternals. This is a movie full of stunning scenery. Our heroes fight on embellished beaches and rocky canyons. They live in rustic shacks on terrifying cliffs overlooking icy tundras. Even when the movie leans into CGI, it's still gorgeous. Zhao goes so far as to recreate the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Out of the sunlight, Eternals looks just as good. That's because, to put it bluntly, Eternals is boring. Its characters are all ageless space gods with nothing to lose. When a betrayal among them is revealed, it's supposed to be a big twist, but their actions are given so little motive, it's hard to care. And that is the biggest mistake they can make. For every film, you have to have a motive for the protagonist or something to lose with a goal that's worth watching. If you don't have that, the movie will 100% fail and nothing will make sense. And of course, we have to mention the obvious series, She-Hulk.
I'm not proud of this.
With the series release, She-Hulk Rotten Tomatoes audience score has absolutely plummeted following the show's debut. It was at 82%. But now that Marvel fans have had a first taste of the series, the audience score has massively dropped to 50%, the lowest of any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows, including Ms. Marvel, the previous MCU Disney Plus audience score low of 81%.
Maybe they're right.
To put things in perspective, Moon Knight has a Rotten Tomatoes audience score of 91%. Hawkeye is also 91%. What If is at 94%.
Yeah, I get it.
Loki is at 91%.
Look, this has been a very enjoyable pantomime, but I'd like to go home now.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier is at 84%.
Hello, girl, kick your ass.
And WandaVision comes in with an audience score of 88%.
Well, I assure you, I'm married to a man, a human one.
So we see that She-Hulk Rotten Tomatoes audience score of 50% is drastically different and drastically lower, that Marvel fans aren't happy at all.
I'm not proud of this.
Quality has never been a more hotly debated topic regarding the MCU than now as Phase 4 nears its end. After Avengers Endgame and the Infinity Saga, Marvel Studios left itself a high bar to match with Phase 4. Many believe the latest batch of blockbuster movies and Disney Plus series haven't delivered.
Hi, there's my new favorite client. Just your signature there. And then just initial. Good.
Starting Captain Marvel, it has the worst Rotten Tomatoes audience score for an MCU project at 45%. And what looks to be a result of its poor reception is that Kevin Feige not only dropped the writing and directing team from the sequel, but Feige actually even dropped Captain Marvel from the title and added in 2 actresses to star alongside Brie Larson, where it's been said Disney has lost confidence in Larson. So what happened to the franchise, you might ask? Well, some might blame Disney Plus. It has become a franchise where not only can you release already televised nostalgic shows and films from years back, but Marvel is using it as a way to quickly release shows and miniseries to the point where they're not focusing enough on the plots.
Jen, do your thing. God, I really like this outfit.
The best days of the MCU may be long behind us, according to several media outlets. While it was once considered controversial to disparage the MCU in any way, many pop culture journalists are taking Phase 4 to task.
He also said to go for your legs.
The common complaints seem to be that MCU Phase 4 doesn't feature the iconic, heavy-hitting characters of Phases 1 through 3, and this is true as they are already planning other Avengers films, but with a different cast than what fans are used to. I truly believe that Endgame should have been the end of all the major MCU films.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
As far as the answer to our trivia question, Marvel was started in 1939 by Martin Goodman as Timely Comics, and by 1951 had generally become known as Atlas Comics. It seems like it's only been from Iron Man 1 to Endgame that the MCU was really talked about and films were anticipated. I mean, look at all the reactions to the final battle. Marvel knows that even with all of that buildup, they thought that they could just continue on making films for, in my opinion, cash grab purposes, as they probably more than likely believe that because they have made a name for themselves, anything they bring out will be a hit no matter what series or miniseries or new film. Even if it is a new Avengers film, fans will go running to the theaters, and the fact is, the hype for almost anything Marvel has just slowed down.
I'm not proud of this.
So we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What do you think about all this? Are you still a fan of Marvel? Are you waiting for the upcoming films that were recently released? Or are you not impressed anymore by these films at all? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.